your girl Boost Boswell. Touch Base Tuesday. How's everybody? Putting up the link in case you want to be a part of the conversation. I don't know how long I'm going to stay on because I'm a little tired. But I wanted to follow up on what I feel very strongly about and validated, might I say. Topic of discussion tonight is follow up on that Tamar Braxton, Chrisean Rock trend in Fiasco. Teachable moment. I think is very relevant. So that's why I want to dive in and explain with the community. Um, had a lot of feedback on Instagram in regards to popular opinion. A lot of people felt as though Tamar was quote unquote not clout chasing, and her backup singer James Wright was a victim. I called Cat from the jump. I said she full of crap, and she was clout chasing, and she the biggest part of the problem. I stand by that. Even though Chrisean took down her accounts on social media platforms, she went live on somebody else's while in the airport. I think her and maybe it's as her road manager, whoever the girl was, they was kind of speaking about what's going on, and they stated that her attacking that guy wasn't true, and if that was the case, they got footage for everything else. Why don't they have footage for that? And if he was going to press charges, then why have any? And that's a fact. I knew from the beginning Tamar Braxton was a lie, and I stand by that. Being that James Wright hasn't showed his face, so we can't confirm or deny if he was attacked. It's alleged. All this is alleged, but I personally believe that that man was not attacked because he would have came forward. And if he went through all that trauma, as Tamar stated, then naturally you would press charges. And that ain't no small man. What man gonna let a woman just attack him like that? I'm sorry. I just don't believe that. Even if she had an entourage that was heavy in numbers, at the end of the day, how you clap back is by pressing charges and put them cuffs or that law on their butt. And watching Tamar, I did a video, so if you get a chance, please take a moment and watch it. I did a video regarding this and uploaded it. Couple things I want to pinpoint why I believe Tamar is fabricating what happened. Number one, that fake cry. Let me tell y'all something about me. Don't come over here fake crying. A fake cry and a fake laugh makes my skin crawl. Please don't do it. I cannot stand it. I don't like when people are unauthentic. It leaves deceit, mischief. Show up with me as you are, who you are, and you'll get the best experience with me. Tamar couldn't even hold on to that fake cry long enough when she went live in defense of her team in regards to the altercation that allegedly happened uh, sometime during and after her concert. She couldn't even get a tear out. Seriously. I can't. James, I'm sorry. I mean, it was that fake. It's ridiculous. And you cannot tell me, you cannot rectify a grown woman in her mid to late 40s hanging out with a young up and coming reality star that is known for violence, drugs, drinking, bad relationships, and justify your interactions, they just don't go together. And you out there trying to mirror her behavior. Um, that's like a woman and her daughter, a woman and granddaughter twerking together. It looked ridiculous. And you don't want to take any accountability or responsibility and use all these trauma words in every other sentence. Like you was traumatized the day you was born. She has been ridiculous for a while now. You know a person is the problem when they fire you while you on vacation. The real, or excuse me, the talk couldn't wait to get rid of her, and they ain't never looked back. And she went on the Dancing with the Stars and met the Caucasian ex-boyfriend. I think they two are the same kind. He was looking for clout and wanted some sort of limelight, but when he seen that she ain't hitting like that, it was time to drop her off and get on down the road. She was just living out of her car when it was broken into. That them her words, not mine. And then you got all these people that hoop and holler and she's a Braxton. She's this, she that. She didn't need Chrisean. We talking about the net balance in the bank account, not the name. And that's what people don't seem to get. But people are quick to believe and think others are more valuable than what they are. People will use you when you are trending, when you are popular, when you have your moment. You have to protect that, and that's unfortunately where I believe Chrisean is at. She needs a lot of therapy in this current time. She needs some support and people that don't have any vetted interest in her success or her monetary power. She needs someone that can be objective and support her in her mental care, her healthy life transitioning. And she won't get that in her inner circle, and she won't get that in her industry because let's be honest, all these people, young and old, running around here clout chasing. And it's a shame when I see people my age, Gen X, running out here ridiculous. Uh, Showing their bodies, acting like these young people, and they're not. I think you should have some substance and reservations even in your 20s. I was never one to use sexuality to that extent to try to get attention or to progress and get clout. See, sexuality and attractiveness is a mindset, not twerking, having your butts and your tits out. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Uh, I don't know when it's gonna hit, but it's gonna hit. When this platform jump off, we ain't looking back because being toxic, being ghetto, just a lot of disruption is popular. But at some point, most come to their senses. And when they are, we're going to be here and I'm going to listen and I'm going to help you through it because this is the only way. This the mature, the healthy, the sustainable way is to get your mental health in order and live a life of no regrets, personal respect. Running around here trying to use people to get ahead and try to stay relevant. I don't know what part of karma people don't get. And it can be exhausting coming forward talking about these matters within the African American community because you want to see progress. But unfortunately, I continuously have to show up on these platforms when I'm seeing individuals like Kiki Palmer being attacked by her baby daddy, and then him and his family not addressing the anger and the instability of emotional navigation They want to try to reverse the situation and not have accountability and make themselves victims. It's ridiculous. You have so many people that just spews anger. Cynthia G, none of her commentary was healthy. And I ain't saying that's a good chunk of her assessments wasn't accurate, but you cannot live your life in total darkness and pointing fingers at other people. A dear friend of mine told me years ago, when you truly grow, you focus on becoming a better person for you, evolving and being the person that you need and to be. And regardless of your relationships, you win in the end, no matter the circumstance. I understand that. I live by that now. I don't waste my time focusing on what others have done to me. When I let that go and I started to focus on me and my needs and what it took to provide the things I need. And I'm still evolving. I'm still pushing forward. There's so much of this life that I want to live that I have not lived yet. And I understand fully. I cannot wait on nobody to create that. I own that. I can make that happen. And so can you. Do not, I repeat, do not wait on others to do what is within you. Your life will be much more fulfilled and you will accomplish a lot more. I went to the Sprinkle Sprinkle little set. I think it was today or yesterday when must have been yesterday. Listen, one girl in the comments, I'm gonna post some of them. One girl in the comments was saying she was talking to a guy and it had been a couple weeks, so he asked her about something. She just cash tapped him, requested $400, and that ended their conversation. She was asking, "How do I get him back? I miss him." Another girl was talking about, "Oh, I'm so mad. My guy, my provider, left me for another chick, and now I have to sit on the sideline and watch them be happy. How do I get him back?" It was so many comments that helped me understand you have a lot of immature minds. You have a lot of instability over in that community. You have a lot of people that's popping off and trying to present a certain way when they broke, they're emotionally unstable, and they single. They want to always try to reset and check me. And all I'm trying to do is help them get themselves together in the meantime, in between time, and regardless of anybody else. But them too, I'll be here when you get back. Because see, life will teach you these lessons. Whether you want to listen to me or not, it's going to happen. The world isn't set up for everybody to live that life, unfortunately. It's a small minority that is a part of the one percenters. The rest of us got to go out and get it. And this thing over here in this country, that American dream, it ain't no dream. It's better go out and get it and create it. But I digress. Moving forward, I see so much going on with African American women specifically, and I need us to pause. When you pause, you can learn something. When you pause, it's an opportunity for you to reflect, digest, and then correct. Not enough people are pausing in this life. Not enough people are understanding the lessons that they need to learn in order to move forward. I have to continuously call out these bad behaviors because I don't want life to consume you and swallow you up. If you do not readjust, then at some point it's going to be a must. Well, how are you? Welcome on in. How you doing, y'all? I thought I'd jump on a minute. I ain't gonna stay on too long, but my whole focus was I saw a video a little while ago about Chrisean Rock responding to the allegations of Tamar Braxton and his. I call cab just like I did in the beginning. Um, Chrisean isn't acknowledging any of that happened. She's saying that they're lying. Um, oh, I'm sorry you feeling that way. Listen, girl, I know how it is. You have to take care of you. I ain't been doing nothing, and you know how it is. I'm gonna be here. We got to just take care of ourselves. Make sure you take care of yourself. Um, yeah, she's bad. Um, which one? My issue is more with Tamar Braxton. She is too old to do what she do, and I think she lying. Um, they ain't show no proof. She came on the platform and started fake crying. And Chrisean was on somebody else's account, maybe a road manager or what have you, um, saying that didn't happen. She was supposed to perform in cloud chasing, and when you think about, like, everything about that is ridiculous, and I don't really care about all that. My problem is with these older chicks that's not acting their age. Tamar Braxton is an example of what's wrong with older chicks. She wanted to say that she looked at um Chrisean as maybe she could be a big sister to her. No, the reality is you old enough to be that girl's mother. See, everybody want to be younger than what they are instead of embracing where you at. And how can you navigate in a healthy manner and be a reflection for other people to look at. See, everybody, the first thing out their mouth is, "Oh, I'm not a role model." No, you don't have to be a role model to be responsible. And don't nobody want to take responsibility, but we do have some responsibility in this life. And I'm just fed up with seeing all these chicks my age and older that have no accountability. It like at some point you have to grow mentally. You have to gain some maturity, but it's far too many that stand at the lowest levels and don't want to take any responsibility or accountability of where we are culturally. And I'm sick of it. Yeah, Tamar Braxton is very immature, has always been since she came in TV. She is. Listen, they got rid of her while she was on vacation from the talk. The talk got rid of her butt while she was off, and they ain't never looked back. And she went through exactly what I'm starting to see Chrisean go through. Her ego was too big, and it was unjustified. Everybody wanted to say, "Oh, Tamar didn't need her and she a Braxton." Well, what does that mean? um that ain't got nothing to do with the net amount of your bank account. All these people that have been in the celebrity limelight for years, when they come forward and start telling their truth, more of them than not been broke. Shoot, her sister was broke. Tamar said it just recently out of her mouth. Now, man, she was living out her car after that Caucasian dude dropped her. So, like, people don't want to pause, and that's a problem with what's going on. I believe in society is when you don't pause, you don't give yourself time to reflect and digest and reassess. See, that's where the lessons happen. You have to have that pause in your life. You can tell by the way Tamar navigates. She ain't pausing. She blowing right through, and she look like a fool. I know she cloud chasing, and I believe they use that girl. But see, when you look at it, it still has not been anything good that has happened in Tamar's life. And until she get herself together, the karma that she put out is gonna keep coming back at her, and it ain't good karma. That's just a fact. But it's not just her; it's too many women in our community that's not accountable for the bad behaviors and the level of ghetto and ignorantness. just being ignorant and um, self-serving is just going. It's corroding our culture. I don't remember the lady's name, but I read it. The one, whoever the lady was, that is a gospel singer that is trending now, that she was trying to sing on a flight, and the flight leader, the older African American, I guess the African American black gentleman, told her that she needed to, discontinue singing on the flight, and she wanted to combat him. Um, Talking about she was Grammy nominated and all that. Everybody don't want to hear all that. There's a time and a place, and when you don't have any discretion or self-restraint, then you know you just do anything and everything. Remember when Tamar was being petty, talking about Jeannie Mai? Yep, and Jeezy. Then her man dumped her too shortly after. I didn't hear. I didn't know. I didn't know she was talking about Jeannie Mai and Jeezy. But yeah, I just happened to come across her and that guy. I didn't even know anything about him because I don't follow her. But I caught a laugh when right before he dumped her. They was at a Waffle House and she was being fake and plastic there. See, that's the thing that people don't realize. You got to another example how I see Tamar Braxton is, remember when Nene Leakes first came out on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was ghetto, she was authentic, she was herself. Then she got a couple of dollars and all of a sudden, she created, not that you got to be ghetto, but you can't buy class. And when you start to pretend like you're something you're not, then you leave um, a different impression upon people. And because you're creating this person and it's not authentic. And once you start getting away from authenticity, then you get where things is more and more to people's disliking. I see Tamar that way. She is as fake as she want to be, and to use that young girl like that is just ridiculous. Hey, AJ, welcome in. I had um seen you on 11 where I'm glad you called me. Welcome in. I hope everything all right with you. Hold on, let me catch this. She said she thought because it was gospel people. Yeah, I do. You know who I'm talking about? The girl that was on the airplane. I had to leave a comment and see people. So what I'm finding is the more and more I tell the truth in these comments, the more and more people are very controversial or combative. But that doesn't change the truth. I'm going to be real, Boost. When a lot of blacks gain status or money, we show out and feel entitled, and that's what's going on. But it's getting out of hand. Is getting way too out of hand. Um, the one guy, Keith Lee, very humble young man, you know, when he went to Atlanta and gave those assessments of his personal experiences at those restaurants, that one restaurant, the Milk and Honey, instead of owning that your customer service suck, and we the customer are the reasons why your revenue is up. Instead of taking that feedback to correct your way, they come on and do a little impromptu video being arrogant, talking about who is he. I mean, we get so arrogant and we forget about how we got to where we're at. The one thing that I can say, I can use as an example, that have done an excellent job of being humble, effective, and pushing the envelope forward in a positive manner and being very impactful with her status and growth is Tabitha Brown. She's done an excellent job with that. And I don't know her either. It was trending on Instagram is where I saw it, but she was nominated. Never heard of her before. I can't even tell you her name. That's how much I don't know her. Trending on Instagram because of wanting to sing during a flight. Everybody don't want to hear that. I mean, congratulations that you've been nominated, but I don't. I don't want to hear all of that. And a lot of people was, saying like the flight lead was wrong, and then I had to chime in and say, no, it's a time and a place for that. Being on the flight is not it. When I'm on my flights, I don't want to hear that. And that's personal. If you want people to hear you, rent out a venue and people will buy tickets. But see, people get so consumed with they self that it becomes all about them and nobody else. If y'all haven't, please take a moment and hit the thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Um, it's just getting beyond ridiculous. And when I start to see these older chicks come out here and then they are trending and it's on a regular basis, and all these women look like me, African American, and it's something negative. I mean, we have to start reflecting. The Tamar Braxton situation should have never happened. Should have never happened. Now, granted, there are a lot of issues clearly with Chrisean. Difference with Chrisean is Chrisean grew up with a lot of siblings, way more than Tamar did, and drug addicted parents allegedly. It ain't alleged, but we're gonna put it there. Tamar grew up with a mother and a father that was divorced, but they were active in their lives. Two different that wasn't drug addicted. But she out here acting a fool. You would think by Tamar's behavior that she was in her 20s. This bride headed to 50. She looked like she almost 50. And I'm telling y'all, if you go on Instagram or Google her, that it was a clip she had on red and she was twerking on the stage while she was doing a concert, and she looked like she had a diaper on. It looked ridiculous. Well, welcome in, baby girl vibes. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Hey, look, we're only gonna be here a little bit, but I appreciate you coming. So as long as we here, come in and out, and y'all know if nothing else, we always meet in the comments. I appreciate y'all being here. Um, the more and more that I speak out and in these comments of these other people's videos and posts, the more that I see how much people don't think for themselves. People or they lack common sense. Because a lot of this stuff is just clear and it's not opinion. I'm trying to think of something that yeah, I'm trying to think of something that this one girl said to me, and it was opinion, and I tried to address these are opinions. Let's deal in facts. Like it's like you can't even decipher between what's real and data backed versus an opinion. And I think culturally, like that's disturbing. It's disturbing to see people that don't have common sense to make a mature decision off of collected and data driven information. And that's the part that troubles me. That you have a lot of people that are out here giving out mad advice, and emotionally they're unhealthy. It's disturbing, and people are following them, listening to this mess. Part of the issue is that people old and young hold these fools in high. Exactly. Them chicks over there on Instagram tore me up about Tamar, and you would think she was as successful as Oprah. I mean, I'm like, this Tamar, I mean, what has this girl has came forward? The way she even came forward and got her moment in the limelight was in a negative, unhealthy manner. Everything attached to that chick is unhealthy. But the way she's presented herself is very tactful. Um, and clearly something's very wrong. She's had a lot of plastic surgery done to the point to where she's starting to look deformed. See, when you start to alter yourself, like these chicks are out here doing, to the point to where you are told your features are no longer reflecting any features of how you really looked, that's an addiction. That's an emotional issue that you struggling with. I believe in taking care of yourself, and if you want to get a little enhancement, that's fine too. But not to the point to where you are distorting yourself. And when I look at Tamar Braxton, she has distorted herself. She's starting down the road of Lil Kim. And that is something going on here. Because who would do that? In the end, it's never a benefit. It's almost like you transition into a monster like look. It's terrible. It really is. But her mind is matching it. Everything is just wrong. And my heart goes out to that young girl, even though she need therapy and she also need to be held accountable. Um, I think it becomes very unhealthy when people aren't accountable for their bad behaviors. Listen, AJ, there was a couple of times I seen pictures out, and I absolutely positively didn't know who Lil Kim was. If you see that video that Tamar just put out, look at her face. She looked bad. These it's quite a few of them running around here that they no longer look like themselves. But see, that's when you are starting to live for other people and living up to society's expectations, to where what society says you should look like. And if y'all play close attention, this is real. A lot of these people, women specifically, they starting to look alike. The hair is the same, eyelashes are the same, eyebrows are the same. Like, it's a look that is starting to be a common theme, where a lot of women are starting to resemble. I don't ever want to dislike myself so much to where I no longer look like myself. That's why mental care is so important, because when you continuously become consumed and eaten up with all this stuff that is trending, you can lose your identity. And this is what's happening. You see all these people that are recreating them or creating themselves into being something that is not desirable. And the reality is, these young people don't have a chance because they don't have any example or anybody that will hold them accountable and give them feedback to where they can reflect and look at objectively and then make a conscious decision. Everybody is clout chasing and ulterior motives. And that's just a sad society. And I see it, I see it just growing rapidly within our community. And I got a lot of backlash about that Tamar, but you know what? I feel I sleep well at night, and I'm gonna keep calling out. When I saw that video earlier, I was at work. I said I knew that broad was lying. Amen. Listen, AJ, I ain't gonna never anything that I do is for me. I'm never going. And at this stage of my life, if you are not in a position to where you can embrace who you are, you have lost far too much time. Yeah, you have to learn to love yourself. Because if you How many people, and look, and just think about it. So many people have come forward. Black China is an example. Spend all that money on changing themselves, enhancement, and then had to go through all that pain trying to undo all those bad decisions. I see we getting more people in here. If you please take a moment and hit the thumbs up, I appreciate it. Black China was a prime example of I made some bad decisions, and now let me try to correct them as best I can. You don't want to put yourself in these bad situations because people, the problem is this: don't nobody consider that maybe perhaps what I do today might be a reflection or might be something that I might have to address in the future. You have to consider these things, but it's not enough people that are living honestly nor authentically. And when I come forward and I say something, or I be in these comments making my points, and I get a lot of backlash, and then fast forward, when I double back, more evidence comes forward stating what I said. I'm validated, and it gives me a lot of strength and a lot of fresh air to know that I'm going to keep pushing the agenda forward, that we have to hold ourselves and each other accountable. Because I was thinking about this. That Cynthia G, I had watched a video that was trending, and it was said something in the matter of like, so more and more, so she, one of her messages was to abort black males. But the more and more, when you really start looking at like black women dating outside their race, the passport bros trying to date everybody but black women. The reality is, if we going every direction but the direction that honors and values us. If we continue on this path, at some point, where will where will the black race be? Black women hating black men, don't want to deal with them. Black men dating everybody but black women. There, so when you reproduce, nobody will look like you. Like, that's a reality. And it's sad. It tells me that we are a culture that is growing at a rapid pace, that no self-love for self and others that look like you exists. It's disappearing at a rapid pace, and it's just unfortunate. It really is. Yeah, I love my brothers too. You know what I mean? But if you get on this internet and you start scrolling, you would think that we have zero love for one another. I follow this one guy. He always talking about black women, and I always leave comments that why don't you try to educate and change the trajectory of the interaction and the opinion black men and women have upon each other. Every time you put out something that's negative, why don't you try to change that with your message? But they don't. I said, oh, and I did put in there. I said, oh, because your number's up, and that's a check. I think I put that in somebody's comment yesterday. That O'Shea Duke, O'Shea Duke Jackson guy. And he from the States, but he live in Uganda. Boosh, you are going to laugh your ass off when you see your thumbnail for this video. What is it? Look, I don't know what it is. What's the thumbnail? Hold on. Look, let me. I don't even know how to see what it is. It better not be some shit I don't want. I don't want on there. Let me see. I don't know. I'll check it out afterwards. But anyway, and you know what? I'm glad I came on because I look. I left work a little bit later than I normally do, and I had to stop and get some air in my tires because it's starting to get cold in the mornings on the East Coast. So when that happened, it automatically um, gives you that trigger to put some air in your tires. And I wasn't in no rush anyway, because when I get home now it's dark. But I was laying here, and I said, let me go on a minute and run my mouth. What is it, y'all? Let me see. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I work every day, girl, but I went in the plant. Um, no, but I'm glad. I'm trying to stay committed to that, but I'm telling y'all, sometimes I say, I don't want to come on because it ain't never. A lot of times it's hard to come up with things to discuss that ain't trending because everything that's trending is like it's a reflection of where we at collectively as a culture, and it's disheartening. Said you will have to wait till you get home. Yeah, it is. But you know what, baby girl? Look, I don't mind it for a couple months because sometimes I just feel like getting cozy because I don't be in them streets like that. But as long as I got something good to eat and I'm warm, I'm cool. And I don't mind staying out the way. Yeah, I didn't. I think I got home a little bit before 6, and it was dark. So it started getting dark here. I think y'all, um, you're on the East Coast time, right? I know by 6 o'clock here, it's dark, like dark, dark. So, but I don't mind it. For a little while, but it's definitely something that you have to monitor because some people that naturally don't have a support system or are lonely, they can slip into a depression, especially with like holidays that's coming up. Um, okay, I thought you was on Eastern time. Um, because we need sun naturally. Our bodies and our mental stability needs sunshine brings just positive, joyful feelings, and when you don't have that, and you don't have support, it's easily to fall into a depression, and you don't want to do that. Baby girl said, y'all, me too, but I agree. As long as I have something warm to eat, something good to drink, and a nice blanket, I guess I should not complain, huh? Listen, yeah, look, and that's okay. We can complain some. We just can't live there. Listen, hey, go ahead and flirt with them, and make sure you take your dog with you, AJ, because your dog will sniff them out and let you know if they okay or not. You central. Oh, that's right. So we are an hour difference from you. And look, AJ, let us live vicariously through you. Keep us posted. But I said, look, um, I was talking to my sister. And what was we talking? This was yesterday, I believe. I was talking to I was talking about I was thinking about taking this lady's class. I think it starts in January. I follow her on YouTube. Um it's a elegance class for like $50, right? And then my sister was like, yeah, I can act feminine and elegance or whatever when I want to. I said, no, that's the thing. That's it's a tall behavior. Uh like, in order to get to certain things, you have to be willing to invest in yourself. And um you just can't say, "Oh, I want to be that," and you become that. Like, it takes work, it takes effort, it takes um investing in yourself. And I said, because I know what I want to attract. When I get out in these streets, I know the kind of people I want to attract. And there's certain levels of skills that I need to brush up on or acquire. And I ain't no shame in that. I know everything about this half of my life. Been there, done that, and doing that. I'm trying to tap into, well, not trying to, I'm going to tap into the part of my life that I've always desired, that I have yet to explore. And it ain't never too late. When it's too late is my last day. And until then, onward and upward. Because at some point you do got to get out of your comfortable state. I used to be very active and social. And then when before COVID hit, when I went into depression, and then COVID and the pandemic, I just got out of that. But and you can get very comfortable in your little world. But if it's the Lord's will, I got a lot of living to do. So I got to get uncomfortable with living in my own little space and get out there and meet some people. Y'all said I almost bought a book titled Rambles of Women. In it, it states, you can always tell the social standing of a woman by the way she sits. So that's one of the things that old girl that I follow on YouTube. And her name is Maggie, the substitute teacher. Just FYI. But I went to a one of those channels that was live that give you feedback, and she was over there. Is how I learned about her, and just showing love, I started following her. um but she has an elegance. She's not easy on the eyes, but she has acquired a natural feminine way about her that I can respect and appreciate. So I said I might just do that. Aretha. Okay, got it. AJ's name is Aretha, y'all. Well, hello, Aretha. Nice to meet you. Baby girl Vi said, y'all, I have heard about that. Did you get it? I might have to look into that. Everybody know Aretha. Baby girl Vibe said, I didn't because it was the first edition and cost $58. I may go back and get it. So, hey, yo, text me that so I can my you knew my name. You was following. My real name is Kalisa. But I don't put it out there like that because if I cuss somebody out, I don't want them to look me up. Actually, you know what? I quit putting my real name out there because back when Obama was president, um, I used to argue a lot on Facebook. Um, and I mean, like, get down with them. And people were very vindictive. So I knew it was best for me not to use my real name because I get very passionate about religion and politics. And especially when I run across racist people. And that's why, I just didn't put my name out there. But I ain't got nothing to hide. I just don't put it out there. Yes, nice to meet everybody. No Boots, a lady on YouTube doing a class. Don't divulge too much. Her name was it's called Maggie the Substitute Teacher. Maggie the Substitute Teacher. But she does cooking too, but I think she's doing like the 30 days. But it is one thing naturally, like, I grew up with an aggressive mother and just an aggressive society, right? So have a natural level of aggression. But I always said growing up, I'm gonna be a lady. It's many women in the world. I'm gonna be a lady. And I still have yet. Now I got a lot of clothes as a lady. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna finish this thing a lady, not a woman. I'm a woman natural. A lady is an attitude. And one of those lives, like you to your point, y'all, they was talking about your posture, like the way a woman should sit. And just different things. And it's just some yeah. So I followed her. Like she ain't great, but I like her the softness of her voice. Um she just, she all right. I love the fact that she's not what society deems beautiful, but she is popular and killing it. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, she ain't easy on the eyes, but she got 40,000 followers. I know that. So, but I show love, and I'm always willing to learn something. So, you know, you got again. I prayed a couple years back to God for God to put me in a new setting because for so many years, the people that I was affiliated with and I interacted with and called quote unquote my friends, I was pouring into. It was there. I wasn't getting poured into. I was helping a lot of other people progress and you know sharing my wisdom, and it wasn't none being shared with me. Not that they wouldn't share it. I was just in the wrong um, settings. You don't never want to be the smartest one in the room. If you are, you in the wrong room. Excuse me, y'all. Baby girl Vibes said, "Oh, I like that. Say it again. I'm a woman for being a lady." Yeah. So that's real, baby girl Vibes. I've been saying that since my 20s. I said, there's there's a lot of women in the world, very few ladies. I want to finish this thing out a lady. I'm a woman naturally. A lady is a behavior. It's a decision. You too, y'all. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful night and a wonderful week. Oh, did you hear me, baby girl Vibes? But that's the truth though. And and I'm gonna tell you something about this. I have always been able to see and just instantly know women with class just by their posture, their demeanor. And it's something to be recognized. And I always envied that, respected that, had a fondness for that. My son's grandmother, she was that type of lady. She had a natural classiness, feminine way about her that most women that I have encountered throughout my life didn't have. And it left a lot to be desired. And I think a lot of times that's what I know that's what the world is missing. I mean, you ain't never, nor will you ever see me twerking. It is a disrespect to me. And that's the thing that people don't understand. When you out here representing yourself in a way that is not ladylike, you ain't disrespecting nobody but yourself. And furthermore, what I have a real issue with, and that's why I'm gonna keep going heads up in the comments all over these platforms, is these people that have had children that either are still young or adults, and you have got to the point to where You have no respect for nobody. You have these ignorant women that say, my kid's grown, now it's my time. It can be your time, but you still have to know that you are a reflection of your family. It's nothing more embarrassing than to be affiliated with people that don't have any regards for themselves or nobody else. And I see it too many times than not. People don't care about tomorrow. I think you should live today. I've spoke about this previously. I had a problem with worrying about either trying to heal from the past and worry about the future, and I was missing the day. I live today because I am more aware. God have blessed me with that vision and that understanding. So I live today, but I am still mindful of tomorrow. I still have a respect for tomorrow. I was talking to my sister yesterday because at this stage, there's certain things that I no longer will do. I have been fortunate enough to make decent money to where I don't have to kiss nobody's ass or take no mess to live and to pay my bills. I get up every day and I work and I provide that for myself. I was talking to my sister about this. And hold on, y'all. See, getting older, your mind go blank. Here's a point I'm making. I was telling her that certain things I will no longer do because I care about the older me. And I want to make sure by any means necessary that I do things now to take care of her if I'm blessed to meet her. Out here making bad decisions at this age is just ridiculous. People don't understand or don't care about the impact that decisions today will have on tomorrow and days and years ahead of us. I'm fully aware of that. I take responsibility for me today with the anticipation that I will see tomorrow. It's foolish to be out here at this age and not to have some common sense on the decisions and the behavior that I exert in the presence of others. I don't understand it. Nothing is more dangerous than an old fool you can't tell nothing to. But I've learned this. I'm going to say my piece regardless. But I don't spend too much time on an old fool because that's one thing that none of us should play with, and that is time. Time that we all need to treasure like it's golden. And when you out here so consumed with what's going on in other people's lives, so much so that you can run it off better than what's going on in your life. See, I'm out here with a purpose. Number one, I care. And I realize a lot of people lack common sense. So I'm gonna share and I'm gonna encourage. And that ain't arrogant. This is reality. People lack common sense. It was a young girl that said to me, I'm so glad I came across you because I have no women in my life that I can look up to or I can learn from. I speak on the behalf of her. I speak because I care about her, even though I don't know her. I speak because once upon a time I was her. I speak because if I don't speak and look out for her, then how do I expect for somebody to look out for me? You you really do have to understand the mechanisms of life. It's give and receive. That's a real thing. I give with the expectation that I might not get nothing back from mankind, but I know that there is an existence that's bigger than man. And I call upon him. There's too many people out here that do not believe in nothing. I know from whom I come from. I know from where my blessings flow. And I know the power and the blessing of it's better to give than it is to receive. See, people are so arrogant and so self absorbed that they don't understand that phrase. They don't understand the beauty and the blessing it is to be able to be in a position to give instead of being a receiver. I always want to be the giver. But so many people are so arrogant that they miss that blessing, and that ego is checking them and dominating them, and they don't even see it. Ego is a dangerous thing. I talked about that many, and I'm telling you, if you don't have that ego in check, that ego is going to dominate and it's going to take you down. That's what you see what's going on. Everybody with this my, me. When you get past all of that and you realize it's above me, it's much bigger than me. I'm just a small portion of this thing called life, and whatever I can do to make it about everybody else other than me after I've done the work on me, then watch how your blessings flow. I look at my life now and sometimes I could cry, y'all. I could cry for the mere fact that I'm grateful that I spent the majority of my life without an understanding of what self-love was, chasing, trying to get validation in other people, living up to expectation in a lie that will never serve me or anybody. That God took the time to set me down and set me aside and get me alone so he could get me together. And then after he got me together, he pushed me forward and said, "You are accountable. I helped you, now help somebody." See, I could not have come out and speak out without help because I was a part of the falsehoods and the ignorance that exists and is so prevalent today, with people not understanding what this thing called life is really about. It's about others. It's about being of service. My best days, my greatest moments is when I touch somebody else's life and I help them be better. But see, you can't get there when you so focused on what you need and what society has put forth in your face to make you want to constantly trying to live up to the ridiculousness of what people think instead of what makes you healthy, happy, and whole in your life. All I'm trying to do is help you get it right. And how you do that is you got to get by yourself first. You have to get by yourself and you got to look at every lie you ever told yourself, or every lie that you allowed others to tell you while they was using you. Walk it down and tell the truth. Get rid of all the ugly that you know that's within you. Self-love starts out ugly. It really do. But once you do that work on you, then you become a gift and a blessing to other people. You can help other people. Life is a journey. Reasons, seasons, and lifetimes. I've never encountered people that I didn't learn something from, that didn't impact my life, be it good, bad, indifferent, or lesson. But I've always been one to take time to reassess, to try to understand, because I was very emotional. I could feel everything. I was born with discernment, and I used to didn't understand it. And when I finally figured out that all the things I felt was for a reason, that was bigger than me, then I quit regretting and suffering because of all the feelings that I had. I realized that we all have something in us that God gives us. And once you take the time to understand it and appreciate the benefits and the rewards of it, then those burdens become blessings that you put forth into the world. I no longer struggle or suffer because I'm a deeply emotional and strong feeling person. I use that as my guidance. It's my warnings. It's my teacher. It's my protector of how to navigate this life. Not enough people take the time to really get to understand what's within them. Once you go within and you learn and grow, that's the beginning of life that you were sent here to live by. Oh yeah, y'all, I'm still here. I'm glad you back. You back? Y'all says, yep, that self-love journey starts with reflecting on the past and decisions we made. Amen. Yeah. Listen, anybody's burdens can become blessings if you take time to address them and to understand them and heal from them. See, too many people running around here trying to stay busy because they don't want to deal with what they feel, what they know exists. I remember being in this true story. I remember being in a shitty relationship. Really love the dude though. I knew in my heart at some point in my life that relationship would end because I knew in my heart he wasn't the one. But I wasn't ready to deal with that pain. So I put it off and put it off. I knew it would come one day, but I wasn't ready to deal with it. So I would make excuses for the bullshit. Excuse my French, y'all. It's grown folks talk tonight. And I lost valuable time in my life because of that. I would never, ever do that again. You have to be willing to address it because all you are doing is prolonging and living in pain that is actually growing until you have no choice but to address the mess. And that happened. And when the day finally came, I said to myself, literally, I knew this day would come. The only regret that I had was being a dummy and not addressing it sooner. And I didn't have to go back to God a couple of times in my life and apologize for not being obedient and not respecting the blessings that he put within me. Because my discernment ain't never lied to me. It ain't never. You understand, baby girl vibes, you know I ain't lying. We all can relate in one way or form. Our stories might be different, but they're the same. And that's what I know about us. Because I know too many women. And our stories are not the same, but they're not too far unalike. They are more alike than not. When I truly started to grow, that's after God started coming to me and speaking to me, warning me. Is when I quit fighting the feeling and the voice inside of me, what it would say that was opposite of what I wanted. See, I was good at ignoring or pushing off my conscience or my discernment when it didn't align with what my sinful heart wanted. But that just goes back to a lesson I learned as a young girl. God rest my father's soul. Knuckleheads learn hard lessons. I got tired of being a knucklehead. I got tired of going through pain that when I took the time and I reflected back on my life or the situation, and that voice inside of me was always right. Was It was always right. Only a fool will continue to ignore something that ain't never lied to you. I had to come to Jesus moment with myself. I said, you can't blame nobody but you. Ain't nobody been lying to you but you, because that food that you should have dropped, you seen them signs long time ago, but you ignored them. That inner voice kept talking to you, telling you no, or you kept feeling that this ain't right, but you pushed that aside. When you start holding yourself accountable, and when you take everybody else out the equation and say, no, it's just one on one, that's when you start getting to the truth. When you can no longer lie to you, life will open up to you. I guarantee you that. Life will feel different. I have my moments where I'm just as giggly and happy because, see, I no longer play no games with me. And if I don't play no games with me, you ain't got no chance. It ain't about arguing with people or being nasty or none of that. You have a peace, a calmness in your life that just can't nobody move. And that's where I want you to get to. That's why my heart goes out to my little sprinkle chicks. I went into a lab yesterday. I sat in them. Voice don't lie. Here a couple comments why they think they be coming over here schooling me, saying I'm jealous and all that. My boyfriend left me for this other chick, and now I gotta sit on the sideline and watch him be happy. I'm so mad. How I get him back? This guy took me out a couple times. So then I cashed that request $400. Now he ain't even responding. I miss him. How can I get him back? I want this guy, but he don't want me. So them sprinkle chicks is full of BS. They over there, single, broke, and lonely. And I'm just trying to help you to not do some of the things that I did. But when you are in a selfish place, you cannot receive good information. My heart goes out to them dumb chicks. And I ain't calling names. I'm calling what it is. Cause I went through a stage where I was dumb. I wasn't that kind of dumb, no. Cause I always worked. And one thing about me, I said it since my parents made sure it is. I ain't gonna never wait on a brother to eat. I'm gonna eat whether you hear or not. These bills gonna be paid whether you hear or not. And these them chicks over there, I sit in the comments. I'm gonna speak out because I have no choice because it is a lot of emotionally damaged or airhead chicks out here. Between them chicks and the ones that hate men, that Cynthia G chick that was on this got terminated again. These chicks have mad followings. And these this is 99% black women, no other race. And they got strong followings. I hate black men or I'm gonna use black men. And not that they don't have some valid arguments. But here's the lesson in this. A friend told me this some years ago, and I felt it in my heart, and I knew it was true. I knew it was coming from a place that was higher than him and I understanding. Because the way it hit me in the heart, I knew it was God sent. You focus on you. You focus on trying to be a better person for you. You focus on healing for you, letting go of bitterness for you, so that you can evolve into a better person, a healthier person. And no matter what happens in life, you are blessed because you've worked on and you have evolved regardless of others. See, those two groups there that I just mentioned, they focused on other people. I hate men. I'm using men. That they don't realize they are wasting valuable time that they can never get back on something that they cannot control. What you can control is you. I used to look to other people for my happiness. I spoke about going to God for years, praying. They call him a provider over there. I used to call I wanted somebody to save me. For years, I prayed to God for somebody to save me. And one day it hit me like a ton of bricks, like I'm sitting here talking to y'all. It came to me so clear. God told me, all these years you have come to me and you have asked me to send someone to save you. For years you have asked me this. And in all those years, you have not taken the time and stopped to acknowledge and realize all the things you have asked me for in other people, I have put it in you. You have done these things all these years that you have asked me for in someone else. And when that hit me, I cried. I cried and I asked God to forgive me. I spent years of my life praying to God for quote unquote a provider. Everybody wants somebody to provide, but the reality is you might not get that in this life. And if you don't get that in this life, what you gonna do in the meantime and in the between time? I have been doing it because I was forced to do it. But I never took the time out to acknowledge that although I had been asking for these things, I had them, just not in the form that I felt I wanted and needed. But it does not cancel the fact that I still had those things. And I'm grateful to God because I know many of women that had decent lives, but they went through hell or they got left and they lost it all or they got emotionally damaged and they ain't never been the same. I didn't had hiccups. I didn't had heartbreaks. I done had disappointments, and I done had times where I wanted to take him out. But I ain't nobody worth that, because I wouldn't do well in confined space. I need a little room. So I got to stay free. Bottom line is, I'm glad to be in my situation, because to be in the hands of somebody else is a dangerous thing. Because let's be honest, more of us than not got a lot of healing that needs to happen, got a lot of emotional and mental traumas and hangups that we haven't learned quite yet how to cope with. A lot of people don't have coping skills. We have normalized trauma. We have normalized abuse. We have normalized addicted to pain. Ain't none of it normal. And I done seen a lot of people's lives jacked up because they put it in the hand of somebody that was not emotionally equipped or mature or stable enough to manage it. Again, took me many years to understand what self-love was. Took me many years to understand I am responsible for my happiness. And anybody I interact with after that is a bonus. People don't take the time to understand that. But if, just if, you are disciplined or you are committed enough to walk that journey for yourself, I promise you this. It'll be an experience that you'll never regret. And that's the life that you need to go get. I'm wishing you the best. Let's get real and heal. It's a decision. It's a lifestyle. It's a commitment. It's a blessing that we all should seek to achieve. It ain't for me. It's for you. It's the life that you deserve to live. And if you go get it, pass it on to the next. Because a blessing is to be shared. And I'm trying to share it. Saturday. See you then. God's blessings. Good night, y'all. I'm out.